Hey Saber fans, this is Gray Paladin, and I have a review of my updated Ultrasabers Initiate V4. So, this is the saber that I worked on in my complete Saber Installation Series, and at the end of this video I'll leave that playlist up so you can click on that if you haven't seen it. And it goes over all the details of how I installed this saber and worked on it. So this is just the complete review of the saber. So I'm not going to go over dimensions and things like that just because I did that in a previous video, which I'll also slap a card up top there so you can check that out if you like. But this was originally all black anodized, and what I ended up doing with it was I weathered it with some sandpaper, and then after that I took my Dremel and I added in some gashes and cuts and some scarring to the saber, and then I worked some of the sand Dremel and some of these finger grips down here and here. I mixed an acrylic white and black paint to create a gray here, and then I took a gold metallic spray paint and just kind of lightly brushed over some of that, and then just barely squeeze the nozzle so you get the little bit of drops that come out, and you can see that show up really well here. There's some of the scarring, there's some of the drops there. So what I was going for with this is more of an ancient saber look. Maybe it just kind of sat in the sand after the old Republic fell and took a lot of beating. Maybe some of the wildlife out there try to gnaw at the hilt a little bit, and the sand basically got sandblasted with the wind blowing and whatnot sitting out there. One thing I added was a LED retention screw here because I did upgrade this with some electronics, and Ultrasabers does not secure their LEDs in the sabers, which I think is not a very good idea. So I added one in there so that way you don't hear that rattling around. And then of course applied more of the gold metallic paint towards the emitter, and then there's the top, the most worn portion. Included a reactor blade plug from Saberforge there. Swapped out the black 16mm switch with a silver one, and then I weathered the bezel a little bit there to kind of blend in with the rest of the saber. So overall I think the saber turned out quite nice. Now let's take a look at the inside. I did this saber as a gift for someone for Christmas, and I'm hoping that they'll be very happy with what I did here. So inside there is a 28mm bass speaker. I believe that's a WOW speaker in there. And then there's the 2.1mm recharge port. This is an all-in-one universal chassis that I got on Etsy. And here is the Verso soundboard. And then 3120 18650 lithium ion battery. This is removable, by the way. I included a little pull tab there to more easily pull the battery out. And then there's some of the wire there going into the rest of the hilt. I did something different with this, and I braided the LED wires, if you can see that there. And the reason, and I tried it new, I loosely braided that, and it made it much easier to twist and coil the wires up into the hilt. And it turned out really nicely, so that way they don't get caught or snag anything. They kind of coil up real nice and then push inside the hilt. And then I included this kind of Velcro tab here on the soundboard, so that can, if I need to lift it out, I can do that. But this is mainly here to secure the soundboard in place, so that way it doesn't move around. And what's nice is once the chassis is all the way in, once I screw in the pommel, it rests against that chassis, and so it doesn't spin or turn or move. So it's going to be nice and solid and secure in this hilt. Let's go ahead and pull the kill key here. So I updated the board with Cal's latest firmware, or beta firmware. So that includes 4 sound fonts: Commander Tano, Dark Saber, his default Verso font, as well as Vader. It does go into deep sleep after 30 seconds, so it's probably going to boot again once I tap the AV switch. So here we go. There's our blade plug. Got our windows in the emitter. Smooth swing. Accent swings. Clashes. Blaster deflect. Lock up. And those are your standard features that come on this. Now, I created a little short stubby plug here for these little close-up videos. That way I can swing more easily, but you also get kind of a blade effect going on there. Now, one thing I did with kind of the battle wounds, or the animal attacks to the hilt, I used a Dremel to kind of really gash those out, but I did sand them with a very fine grit sandpaper, so it's very smooth, and there's nothing sharp or rough on the saber at all. And you can see closely there, there's nothing sticking out on that on those gashes and grooves in there. It's actually quite smooth to the touch. I really do like the splashes of gold on there, as if it were faded electrum that got sandblasted off while it was sitting on Jakku or Tatooine or wherever, sand world. And I especially like the kind of bronze, ancient, oxidized look on the emitter there. Okay, let's change fonts with a double tap. That's the default Verso sound font. There we go. You can change colors by doing a double tap, and you rotate through your spectrum. Nice and easy. I think there's 14 colors already on here. I like that color there. It's a light blue. Press and hold to set. Rotate again, and now you go into your blade effects. So now we're getting into a flicker there, and even faster at that point. And that's flat. So there's no pulse, just light flicker, heavy flicker, and then full on. Now you can rotate between the fonts. So there's the Dark Saber you're hearing. That's Vader. And that's the Verso. Or that's Commander Tano, and that's the Verso. So. And now you're back into your normal mode. Now, whatever color you set, the board will remember that. So once you turn it off, or put the kill key in, if you reboot the Saber, it's going to remember your settings, which I think is a really nice feature to have.
You have something I want.
Well, apparently he no longer has the dark saber. If you've been watching Mando, killer last episode of season 2. And we're back to Vader. So I had a lot of fun working on this lightsaber, mainly because I knew I was setting this up to give someone a Merry Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of quick little review here of this lightsaber. And again, go ahead and check out the series of how I installed this and worked on it. I know the episodes are kind of long, but if you're really into that sort of thing, I think you'll enjoy it, because I enjoyed making it for you. Thank you very much for watching, and please like, subscribe, whatever floats your boat, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next video. May the Force be with you.